Hello and welcome to the Historical Chat Show. Tonight we will be discussing the Battle of Somme. Now my guest tonight, our former soldier Fez Salim, who fought and died in the Battle of Somme. True war hero. My second guest tonight is another war hero, but he survived the Battle of Somme. An unbelievable feat. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Old Hack. In December 1915, it was still a boring stalemate on the Western Front. Neither side had made any real progress towards victory, although hundreds of attacks had been launched by either side and hundreds of thousands of soldiers had been killed. The British soon began to question just how well the army was being led, and in mid-December 1915, a new commander of the British forces was appointed. His name was Field Marshal Haig. He was 54, so certainly had experience on his side after a long and successful military career. However, the new commander caused a huge debate during and after the war. Are you okay?
No.
Anyway, Field Marshal Haig had a plan. Fez, what do you think about Field Marshal Haig's tactics?
Field Marshal Haig cost me my life. His tactics were useless. He was a horrible old man. Yet so far, it had just been stalemate, but there is no reason to send a major attack along the line of the River Somme. What was he thinking? He hoped that this would relieve the pressure that the Germans were applying to the French. He also had information that suggested that the Germans were outnumbered. Rubbish! How could he even prove it? After a week of bombardment, the order was given to go over the top. 5 months later, only a few square kilometres of blood and mud had been gained, and thousands of soldiers had died.
You understand. I see where you are coming from, but you are missing a key point. Field Marshal Haig was doing this partly to help the French and push back the Germans. If the Germans had finished off the French, then Britain would have lost one of its trusted allies, and the Germans would be strengthened. The attack was for our own good. He may have not got far. Many have died, but something had to be done. There was a war to be won. We couldn't stay off stalemate for any longer. This bit of progress was significant in winning the war.
Yes, but he had to lose thousands of lives to do so. It's all right for him sitting on his bum all day in a nice home eating lovely food while all his men are giving their lives for his plan. He didn't even have a plan of how he was going to do it. He was convinced determination would do it. While as a soldier, and you are determined as ever, it doesn't stop a German machine gun bullet killing me in battle.
The nation has to learn to face deaths. That is what happens in war.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't like to die, would you?
No, but we have to understand that we need to sacrifice lives in order to win wars. We must be prepared to see a big casualty list.
Haig didn't even know what he was talking about. He claimed on the day that the attack started that the barbed wire had been finally cut, and that the artillery preparation had been thorough. Then, on the first day of the attack, he said it had gone very well. However, the truth was that the barbed wire had not even been cut. Bombardment hardly caused any damage. He never even visited the front line as a general. Hundreds were dead and stung out on the barbed wire.
Fez!
The joys of videos. Where was I? There were 60,000 casualties on the first day. One Canadian battalion lost 700 out of 850 men. We were continuing to be brave, giving our lives for our country. Haig not caring one bit. This war was ruining the whole plan that had gone relatively smooth for 2 years. Haig was turning on its head. This is not just my opinion. Oh no. Even Britain's leading politicians were joining in. Winston Churchill and Lord Lansdowne agree with me that the killing of our best troops at the reward of a couple of yards is terrible.
General Haig won us the war. It's a fact. It came at a big cost, but it is a fact, remember that. His military methods choked the Germans. They were on the back foot straight away. They were on the back foot from the first day of attack.
But when we had 60,000 casualties.
I know it came at a high cost, but the Battle of the Somme was a definite success. In order to win the war, there was no way of avoiding the number of casualties and deaths we had.
I am sure that he could have. He could have at least changed his tactics. For example, when he realised that the frontal attacks were not working, he could have stopped them. The Germans' advance had already been halted. Or you could have attacked without bombardments, which always warned the Germans that an attack was coming and therefore took away the surprise. Or another way you could have been more efficient would be to send flexible teams of machine gunners who could have been used to attack the weak points of the German trench system rather than sending vast waves of infantry going over the top. This would have undoubtedly saved lives.
Well, thank you very much for your time. It's been a very interesting debate with two very strong arguments. Thank you.
Well, mine was better.
The votes are in. With 52% of the votes from the British public to 48%, the winner of this debate is Adam!
What is that, might I say?
Thank you very much, and good night.
Oh, never mind. Till another jet day, jolly good chap.